Et and Arcadia Ego is the third full-length album from Lares, a Berlin, Germany-based sludge metal group who are often described as psychedelic doom metal, blackened psychedelic doom metal, psychedelic sludge metal. Essentially, there is a heady, hallucinatory, psychedelic rock-influenced aspect to their version of sludge doom metal, and not in the stoner sense, but more so in the more severe sludge metal canon that is drenched with effects and more aggressive in its approach of sludge metal. Now, parse however you will the difference between sludge and doom metal. This is a band that I would compare in general on their first two records to something like Hexer, Jupiterian, the more atmospheric and maybe sometimes extreme metal influenced side of sludge metal, which I would also include Unearthly Trance in general. So they're definitely approaching sludge metal in a more extreme way on their first two records. They made a sound for themselves. They became a little bit more distinct on their second record, and that really caught ears. It was well received. But what is this record and what's different? So this record is nothing like their last two records. In fact, this is one song. It's a 28-minute song, roughly. It is a rehearsal space recorded idea that captured what they came up with when they came together to jam, and the first moment they were able to, as the pandemic allowed them to go back and rehearse. So in a way, it is their return. It's their meditation upon death. It is something that gained meaning over time as they continue to recreate that moment and basically make an album out of it. So there are four major movements here. They can be cut down to various aggressive and atmospheric moments. This is one big kind of neo-psychedelic post-metal type song. I would say more leaning towards the post-metal side of things, especially for the first half. They start off this song with an aggressive blackened sludge metal pace. They push through it pretty quickly. They spend about 4 minutes developing that song, and they veer into dark ambient territory with some guitars playing through, and this slowly builds up into a post-metal build that essentially ends up feeling like an Elder-style jam, and then they return to aggression, and it kind of works out from there. I definitely felt like there was an atmospheric sort of neurosis-like aspect to this, the way that they developed this song, and take their time with it, essentially. They don't feature a lot of vocals and singing on this record. It is mostly instrumental. It is most experiential, and the way that they move through these pieces in an improvised feeling way is the appeal of it. There's also a fairly organic render straight from the rehearsal room, and which has been mixed and mastered professionally, which sounds very practiced in general. They tout that this has had minimal editing and general assistance with its work. This is, it's just nothing like what they've done before in that sense. This is very much a performance piece that is meant to convey a certain feeling, and it's not so much a continuation of their oeuvre otherwise. So it's an interjection. It's a pretty interesting experiment. Don't expect a ton of really fine details so much as feeling it in the moment, but it is meant to capture a specific feeling at a specific time from whatever angle may be. It's a pretty effective vehicle for their sound, but don't expect it to be a repeat of what they've done in the past. Your results will vary. I think if you're familiar with their last record, this will be very different, and you might not get it without the important context of the performance and the time and the what they're trying to convey. You might have to do a little bit of extra due diligence to understand where this is coming from and why it is interesting. So check it out for yourself. It releases today, April 12th, and read my review for more moment-to-moment thoughts on the record and more details.